Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the crash course on the 4-4-2 defense. So a couple things to start with. The purpose of this defense, we're white in this video. We're playing against a 4-2-3-1, which is a common formation we play against. We're in white, we're a 4-4-2, as you can see the shape. The purpose of this defense is to protect the crucial middle. We want to deny the ball on the ground where a player can get turned in this area and play through to the forwards, including the 6, playing to the 10 or playing through. We want to deny them getting the ball on the ground and playing forward. So we allow air balls because they're easier to defend. They take longer to get there, so we can gather the troops to defend against it. They're harder to control for the offense, to bring it down and get it under control. So we allow air balls, and you're going to see that in a second. We allow the ball to be played around the side and these players to turn forward, including the keeper. But we deny everyone else, all the other black players inside here in this middle. We don't want to allow them to turn. Okay, so this is done with pressure cover. So we come from the middle. So we play the ball. I'm sorry, the ball gets played out. Our 10 in the 4-4-2, our 10 and 9. We call this the functional 9. He comes out, he functions as a 9. And you'll see that we're going to get this mirroring effect where he comes up. This is the mirroring. This is the pressure cover, and the 9 covers. This is the pressure cover, and then the mirroring is the 8. Since the 10 is stepping up, the ball side, CDM, and the ball side striker are stepping up. The 8 steps up. And naturally, you know that you've seen this before where you'll see a 6 check in here, and this is why you need the 8 there, or the 6 checks in here, and this is why you need the 8 there. So you can follow him and take away that easy little pass. At the same time, the 9 dropped on the weak side for the 9, 10, 6, 8, and you'll see that there's no reason for the 6 to stand there. He needs to help out with the 10, so he becomes the functional 6. The actual 6 becomes what we call the functional 6. He's functioning as a 6. The 8 is functioning as an 8. So this is if there is an air ball, this is why we don't worry about air balls. We're protecting against the ground ball, and we allow air balls because we can handle them now. We have a 3v2 in this area. It'll be difficult for the 10 to bring it down. If the 6 didn't go forward and he just stayed there, if an air ball ensued now, the 9 could knock it down to the 10 and we'd be in a 2v2. This is why we do this mirroring. It's very important. Okay. Now, if there's a bad touch when we're coming out, you may want to sweep or press the ball. And so when we sweep, we just do our defense, right? Our old defense, which is the press, where we cover shadow, okay? And then everybody marks up, okay? So it really just takes our 11 to come out of the channel, which we'll get to in a second. 7-11 cover shadow the channels. He would just come out, we take away all the easy options, right? We take away all these. Look, this is like our old defense. So we temporarily, for a moment, so it shouldn't tire us out, because we're just going to do this when they have a bad touch to win the ball and score. Okay, you see all the marks, take all the easy options. Because if he didn't step, they would have an outlet. Too easy, right? So we want to push up on everybody, press them, take away all the easy options. Okay? All right, so let's say we're not pressing, we're just coming from the diagonal. We're waiting in the half space. Okay, let's say this guy checked here, so that you can see the importance of the 11 sitting in the channel is if he was wider, he's opening that up, right? So he wants to hold this channel. It also helps out if the check-in is here. We basically have double coverage on this 6, okay? So it really protects the middle, okay? So let's say the ball does get played out. This is when he approaches from a diagonal because he's protecting. He's helping out his 8 and his 6 who are marking, right? He's going to come out from a diagonal, okay? And he's giving up this pass. The 10 is going to squeeze back down again to help out with the 6. We don't care if they play it back. We want to protect this middle area so the 10 drops back in, okay? And they can protect this area. Now, right now, their 7 is still inside. Eventually, they're going to get frustrated, and they're going to realize they have to get wide. And these teams don't necessarily like to get wide, but we're going to force them to get wide. So they're going to come out. Now we have their fullback wide and their winger wide. This is going to be great for counterattacking later on the offense. So this is going to give us the disconnected fullbacks. Everyone else should be compact, but our fullbacks are going to get disconnected from the 4-5. We don't need to follow in a chain. That is the job of the 6-8, is to close those gaps. If the 5 feels like there's a runner coming in, he can follow, and that's the job of the 6, is to come in, right? Become a center back. He can follow that run, all right? So there's an exchange there. That's why we drop the CDM on the weak side back, to cover those things. He can drop into the back line, and we exchange. And now we still have double coverage here, single coverage on the outside. We want to go for an interception. We want to go for interceptions, just like we taught in our previous defense. That hasn't changed. But the interceptions are really going to come from these fullbacks. You step in front. If you cannot get the interception, for whatever reason, you were late, you don't feel comfortable, then we just contain until we get double marking, just like in the other defense, right? At that moment, our 11 can cover shadow from here and double mark, right? Our 8 can come off and start to squeeze here, okay? And we double mark and we win the ball there, okay? It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple defense. You just have to communicate and always pressure, cover, talk to each other, okay? And that's it. I'll see you tonight.